that the trying of your faith works patience. Okay, so a temptation, which can be translated as trial, and in other areas, that word is translated as trial. So you could call it temptation or trial, which is important because some people will say, down here when it says, don't say that it's God because God won't tempt you, what they're saying is, well, he won't tempt you with evil, but he'll bring a trial into your life. And they distinguish between the two, and they say one's a trial, one's a temptation. He will test you, but he won't tempt you. And what they mean by a test is do something externally to you, like take your job away or give you cancer or something like that. If you apply proper theology, when you look at temptation, and trial, they're always associated together. A testing of your faith is always associated with temptation. But those things that you're supposed to rejoice in when they come, those things that you will experience a crown of life through which after you go through them remaining faithful, those things that come at you, watch what God says about them. The trials that you think have been sent by God, watch what God says about them. Verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempts he any man. So those things that you're supposed to count it all joy when you fall into, don't say it's from God. This is a big deal. I'm telling you, this is a big deal. Because what a lot of people have is circumstantial theology. Rather than basing what they believe about the character of God on what Scripture actually says. Dangerous. A lot of what we hear taught is circumstantial theology, based on what we go through and the conclusions that we draw, based on what we learn after going through these things. Well-meaning people. I've had conversations with people, cancer survivors, that I have no right to address their situation of facing something that challenging. Their declaration is, God, this cancer was from God because I learned this as a result of going through it, and now I'm much closer to God. And I've literally had this conversation multiple times, and I will ask, could you have learned that without the cancer? Most of them say no. I mean, let's go where the rubber meets the road, right? We're talking about the character of God here. And this is a definitive statement. When you have a definitive statement like this, you have to anchor your belief about every temptation and every trial that you face in what this says. Don't say that it's from God. But every man is tempted when he's drawn away from his own lust and enticed. Uh-oh. You ever felt, well, the devil is just tempting me? The devil only can use what you give him to work with. I mean, never once has the devil successfully tempted you to go stick your head in the door jamb and slam the door on it. You don't want to do that. I don't care if the devil, pitchfork, horns, tail, and all makes it as appealing as it possibly could be and says, I'd like for you to go over there and slam your head in that door. You wouldn't be interested in that because you know the pain that's coming after it. However, those things that make your flesh tingle, the subtle voice comes in, and because you're already thinking in that direction, you get moved in that direction. Do not err, my beloved brethren. In other words, don't get this wrong. Do not miss this point. Do not misunderstand this. Hello, don't get this wrong. Every good and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. That's an old English way of saying, and that ain't gonna change. I realize that some of us have gone through things. Some people's entire theology is based on the erroneous conclusion that God is in control. Now, He's sovereign, He's supreme, King of kings, Lord of lords, can do anything He chooses, but He has chosen to give mankind dominion over this planet. He spoke it from the very beginning, and He cannot go against that. But when He's working in our lives, this is the filter through which you must see the hardship that you face. Don't say it's from God. And He's clear about it. I mean, He stops and twice He says, not only don't say that it's from God, but don't get this wrong, it's only the good that comes from Him.